A few weeks later, I received an invitation from Bishop Waleran. In Winchester, we and Waleran's allies were to meet King Stephen himself. The bishop seemed assured that, because we had helped the king, Stephen would support us in return. And that with his help, we would be able to rebuild Kingsbridge Cathedral.
Percy Hamleigh.
Bishop Waleran. Good morning. Ali! It's them! Over there! The Hamleighs!
Again, thank you for your assistance in Kingsbridge, my son.
We have to thank you. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. Right, Mother?
Of course. Well, don't just stand there. Walk out with me, but very calmly. We can't let them see us.
Oh, children, pardon me.
Now we're only missing one more.
Here he is.
Good morning.
Bishop Henry, this is my prior.
Philip of Gwynedd, Prior of Kingsbridge, my Lord Bishop.
You won't have to say much today, Philip.
Leave the talking to us.
No, leave the talking to me. King Stephen is my brother, after all. Let us make haste. My brother is an early riser.
Chapter 6. The Hamleighs. A duty highly political family.
I want to go hunting in the New Forest. England is full of game. No comparison to Normandy. This country's still wild.
This is Waleran Bygod, the Bishop of Kingsbridge.
Waleran, I remember you. We've met before.
And Percy Hamleigh.
My king.
He brought Bartholomew to justice. And it's not the first time he's helped me. He has Norman blood in him. We should hunt together someday.
Indeed, sire.
Bartholomew, on the other hand, will not leave the jail alive.
Percy Hamleigh did not do it without help, my lord. It was I who told him of the plot against you.
And now you come to be rewarded as well. I see.
My brother, the Cathedral of Kingsbridge has burnt down. Waleran asks for a reward, not for himself. He asks for our church.
I take it your church cannot afford to rebuild that cathedral, Henry. Neither can the crown.
I, or rather Bishop Waleran, had an idea. You could give the Earl of Shiring's lands to the Bishop of Kingsbridge to finance the rebuilding of the cathedral.
I like the idea. But Percy and his men were the ones who took Earl's Castle, not Bishop Waleran. Right, Percy?
Yes, my king.
He knows the area, and he will be a loyal Earl, will you not?
Of course, my king.
You ought to give thanks to God first. God made you king.
Don't go on like that, Henry. Don't do that. You know what happens when you do that. It was a long way to this throne. A long way.
Yes, my brother.
Now I will hunt.
My Lord King, I thank you for being willing to reconsider the future of the Shiring Earldom.
When shall we hear your decision?
Tomorrow. Bring my bow. Tell the men we hunt.
Oh man, was all
Philip,
pointless.
Wayland and I have much to discuss.
All right. But what can I do to help?
Well, my brother asked me to get a confession from the traitor Bartholomew. A confession would be helpful against those who believe Bartholomew's arrest was unjust, and it may help us to convince my brother to forget all about his promise to Percy Hamley.
Okay. Bartholomew.
Percy Hamley will have the earldom of Shiring.
But would he make a good earl?
Who cares? Stephen wanted the throne for 20 years. Now that he has it, he must be loyal to those who are loyal to him.
Who knows? Maybe Percy will make a good earl.
From what I've heard, Lady Hamley pulls the strings.
Bartholomew and his followers would have only been the first wave. Robert of Gloucester remains, and he will attack.
And that's what you keep telling us. Maybe because the king likes to hear that you share his worries about Robert of Gloucester.
Robert of Gloucester wants to see his sister on the throne. He will attack. And the Welsh will fight on his side. You mark my words.
Let's
They
use the
seem as
word
if
of
they look
God.
forward to a fight. I will pray for them.
Nah.
These men live rich lives. I hope they at least give alms.
Nah. Okay, so. Alright. Have to find a way to get a confession from that guy.
No, I won't just leave.
All
I
right.
must do something to help our priory.
Sorry, I wasn't planning on leaving.
From what I heard, this is about the cathedral in Kingsbridge. It burned down.
Yes.
Then the king should help in some manner, but not by giving away English land to the church.
Did you not say Bishop Henry was the richest man in England? Then why is he not paying for the cathedral?
God has very tight purse strings, it seems.
Ah, Philip, what is it?
About Bartholomew's confession.
Maybe you can get him to confess.
I do not believe my prior can do more than you could, Henry.
Perhaps he knows he will die, no matter what he says.
Please excuse me.
Of course.
Tomorrow, the king will announce his decision. Until then, they won't allow a simple monk like me into the keep. Bishop Henry said Bartholomew is in the jail. Where was that again?
Yeah, where is the jail?
Bishop Henry
Knights.
said Bartholomew is in the jail. Bishop Henry said... Bishop Henry... Tomorrow.
There's no exit, what the hell? No. What?
Bishop Henry said... About me...
I do not.
Perhaps.
About me...
Okay, whatever.
Please
Can't seem to... Oh, there's a path here right under my inventory. I didn't see that.
How could you let her get away? That little bitch.
I will find her, Mother.
She was here? Why?
To see her father, of course. But that won't help her. She has already made a fool of you once. Don't let it happen again.
No, Mother.
It's about time you showed up.
Huh? Regan Hamleigh? We have not been formally introduced.
You are a fool. Is that formal enough for you, monk? You don't understand any of this, do you? It's as if you've never set a single foot outside your little priory. Unbelievable.
You'd better call me father.
How you let yourself be used by those two greedy bishops, I'll never know. Waleran wants the lands of the earldom for himself. Henry knows that. Say something. You don't believe me, do you, monk?
You are only worrying about your husband's land.
Well, of course I am, and you should be too. If Waleran wins, we both lose. I know you don't trust me, but your bishops are no different from me.
Prove any of this?
Ride with my son, William. Just a few hours. I will prove to you that Waleran will betray you.
All right. I will ride with your son, if only to prove you wrong.
Very well. Maybe you're not a fool, after all. But do not let the bishops see you. William?
What?
Ride with Father Philip. Do as I said.
William Hamleigh declined to tell me where we were heading. He enjoyed keeping me in the dark and forcing me to follow his lead. Sometimes he sped ahead on his warhorse, and it took me some effort to catch up. But sooner or later he would stop and wait, sneering as I rejoined him. On one occasion he stood there urinating against a rock. When I caught up with him, he turned without covering himself. He found my shock at his shameful behavior comical. He laughed, got back into the saddle, spurred his horse and rode off. Again I followed, hoping this journey had not been another horrible mistake.
So right now we're east of Stapleford.
Near a bridge, I found William with a group of washerwomen. He was shouting at them. When I arrived, I could only hear their replies. They said that they had not seen a girl or a boy fitting his description. A younger, blonde woman said that even if she had seen the girl, she would not tell him. Apparently, she had heard of William Hamleigh. William grabbed the startled-looking woman by the arm. He shoved his right hand under her skirt. She started crying. The other women asked William to stop, but were afraid to anger him. William turned and grinned when he saw me approaching.
Oh my god.
When he heard my words, William's grin faded. He pushed the young woman away. The other women looked at me in a strange way. They must have asked themselves why a monk would ride with such a man as William. We rode off, and William stared at me full of spite. I told him I pitied him. I did not tell him why, because I had no words for it. We did not talk after that. Not for a long time.
Disgusting person.
William talked to more strangers along the way. First, I believed he was asking for directions. Then I realized that money was changing hands. William was paying these people for information. I was glad that for now he had lost interest in hurting others. Then I saw an old woman pointing William to a bearded man on a horse. William called the man a horse thief. Then he grinned and signaled the puzzled man to get on his horse and ride with him. They rode faster and faster, and I could not hear what more they talked about.
Kinda wanna hear what they're talking about.
William bluntly threatened to have the man hanged for stealing a horse of his, and then ordered him to hunt down the real thieves in exchange for his life. The man laughed as if he had made a great bargain. William even paid him. Before the man rode off north, William mentioned a name. Aliena. And I prayed that whatever William's plan was, that it would fail.
Oh my god.
Then William waved at me to ride faster. I reckoned we had to be close to where Lady Hamleigh wanted us to go. Not long after, my stomach turned as I realized just where exactly we were bound. Just a moment.
What?
You know very well that Bishop Waleran is in Winchester now. So what are we doing here?
No idea. Mother never tells me anything. She treats me and Father like damn children. It's a wonder Father ever got to fuck her in the first place. But here I am, and I'm starving. Damn, I'm starving.
Where are you going?
In there?
No.
I'm sure the bishop would want to see me well fed. We won't be staying long, so whatever it is you gotta do, do it fast. How can I help you? How about you step aside?
William forgot to close.
Oh. Letter dated January 1136. William, your worries are understandable. Killing is a sin, and hell awaits all sinners. But how could killing ever be a sin when life is taken to protect God and our church? In such a holy battle, you become the sword of God, as do all the brave and valiant knights that join our crusades to the Holy Land. Their faith is their armor. Their sins are forgiven. You are the sword of God, and as a bishop, I am the hand of God. As long as the hand guides the sword, your sins shall be forgiven. Bishop Warren by God. He even got a confession and Oni.
What are we doing here? What am I asking you for? You just did what you were told.
Okay.
I shouldn't even be here. Waleran's palace can't be why I'm here. Can it?
Why are we here?
This can't be it. I shouldn't
deal with the palace.
What is that?
That a trebuchet? Oh, it was a siege? No? What? No, that's a construction.
I have to find out more. I have to. Is this why Regan Hamleigh thinks that Waleran wants the lands of Shiring for himself? He is the bishop. He can do as he pleases. Perhaps he's just building a guest house. No, it is too big for that. What in the name of Christ is he building out there? What in the...
I think... I'm not sure.